Perfect. Yay. Welcome, everybody. So welcome, everyone. I know that there's a number of you guys on the call, and there will be more joining us as we start. Just a couple of technology things as we get started here today. This is a new format for me. This is a program called Zoom, and as you can see, you probably see a whole bunch of boxes with names and then my face. I purposely took your videos off because I'll be doing some readings through tonight, and a lot of people registered for this event. So I thought for privacy's sake, I would take your videos off. If you would like to have your videos on, just let me know. I think I can put your video back on. And in terms of technology as we go tonight, if you have questions, just type them into the right-hand side or simply unmute yourself or type it in, and so I know you're going to be talking. Because how I normally set up these really fun events is I basically teach, and then if there's questions, I just try to address them as they come up. So tonight we're doing an introduction to self-healing. So welcome, everybody. In terms of technology, I'm just going to repeat that because a bunch of people just joined. In terms of technology, if you've got questions, type them into your computer. There's a chat box I can see. Your videos are all off. You probably figured that out. I did that on purpose for privacy stakes because there are so many people who register for this event. And some of you will probably want some intuitive hits as I go. So with intuitive hits, especially if you're here in Vancouver and somebody in Israel or somebody in India is watching this, you may want to keep your own privacy. I don't need to see your face to do intuition, as most of you know. So next time, if there's an overwhelming desire for all of your videos to be shown, I'm happy to do that. But tonight we're going to be doing an introduction to self-healing. So welcome, everybody. And so, like I was saying at the very beginning, this is the very first time I'm actually using this technology, so bear with me. I actually have prepared a bit of a slideshow so that we can stay together and have fun, and then we can see what's going on. And while I show the PowerPoint presentation and talk during it, I lose the chat box, so I'll try to jump back and forth so I can see it. But maybe if you want to save your questions till the end, that would be most helpful, because unfortunately I lose the chat box when I go onto the PowerPoint. But if you could save your questions to the end, that would be so awesome. And I'm happy to do intuitive readings and all that kind of stuff as we go. And welcome. And like I said at the beginning, this might be an hour. It might be shorter. It might be longer. I'm actually not sure. And we might do some meditations, but hello, everybody. Whenever I do webinars on this topic, I find it easiest to engage with the audience if they can look at something rather than just my face. So right now, I'm pretty sure you can just see the screen, and maybe you can or cannot see me. I don't think you can see me when I was testing this. But tonight we're doing an introduction to self-healing. So I was thinking of what the definition of self-healing was, and I actually looked it up on Wikipedia. And I've come up with my own, taking from Wikipedia and Webster and everything else. But basically, self-healing is using our capabilities, our capacities, that which we are born with, to allow our body, our mind, into increased greater health and wellness. We as humans are no different than nature. We are part of nature. And if nature can in many ways heal itself, then why are we any different? Self-healing is about you and you. You with a capital Y, you with your spirit you. So this work is about waking up the internal natural resources of who you are. This is not about something being better or worse than something else. This is simply about waking up who you are. I think of self-healing as a piece of a puzzle that's often missing. So we know what puzzle pieces look like, and we all know lots of the other pieces when it comes to healing. We can think of all kinds of things, from medications to surgery to acupuncture to massage to physio. All of those are awesome pieces of the puzzle. And what people most often tell me when they enter the work that I do, they often say to me, wow, this is such a huge piece of the puzzle. Why haven't I heard of this before? So this is one piece. And what I always say to people is that this piece is not about replacing the other pieces, but this piece is about adding to the other pieces. And then maybe over time, the other pieces you have, you don't need as much, whether it be medications or whatever. Now, when I talk about self-healing, I should also remind you that this isn't just about our health, but it's also about all areas of our life. Our stress levels, our relationships, our money conversations, all of those things. So if you have not heard of it, stress, as we've heard of it, is related to 85 to 90% of our illnesses. And this work is about teaching us how to process, handle, and shift those stresses differently. So stress is one of those things that occur and affects so many of our areas of our life. So like I was saying, clients come to see me for all kinds of things, from health to relationships to abundance to confusion to sadness, all kinds of stuff. But ultimately, the work is always the same. Tonight, we're going to be talking about something called neural pathways. A lot of us have heard of the concept of neural pathways, but neural pathways are basically this. From our brain to our body, how our nerve endings respond, how they interpret things, and how we start to rewire. So we might have some neural pathways that are firing because of certain stresses of perception and something we're perceiving. And this work is about rewiring our brains so that we can actually perceive, shift, and heal and create different lives. That too, more amazing lives. And in this work, we're actually going to teach lots of tools so that we can become aware and know how to shift and heal and rewire. So mind, body, spirit healing. People always ask me, so what do you teach self-healing, Divi? What kind of stuff do you teach? I'm like, I don't know. No, I do know what we teach. We teach about energy. We use the laws of the universe, law of attraction, law of abundance, law of reciprocity. I never pronounce it properly. Laws of polarity. We use all of the universal laws in this work. We teach a lot about metaphysics, neuroscience, love, our engagement with spirit, and much, much more. So that's kind of the main principles that this work revolves around. It doesn't just revolve around, say, emotions. It doesn't just revolve around your thoughts. It doesn't just revolve around law of attraction. I pull in work from all of these entities and we bring them together. And when you apply this work, it is so amazing how it works. I love this stuff, if you can't already tell. It's like, oh my God, I could teach this all day, every day. I actually do. The work of self-healing is about learning a new way. I call it a new way of being. So, we're all raised, and, I left my home when I was 18 or 19 years old, and that there was a way of being that I had taken on, courtesy of how I was trained by my parents and so on. So this work is about learning a new way of being that is hopefully, definitely, always more beneficial and going to help us through life in a different way. But I want you to know, it is just like going to the gym. It is lifting a muscle one at a time. So when you and I go to the gym and we lift bicep curls of, say, 5 pounds, we don't expect to be Arnold Schwarzenegger tomorrow. But if we keep going, we're going to build our muscles. And that is the coolest thing about this work. That if you're willing to build the muscles of healing, don't you love my little guy there? He's so cute, this guy with the big biceps. Then what this work does about self-healing, it will impact all the areas of your life. Relationships, health, mood, abundance, and much, much, much more. I can't tell you how many people say to me, I'm just happier, Divi. And to me, that's everything, just to be happier. They might come to me with back pain, and they leave without their back pain, but they leave happier. Happiness, it's a lot. It's a lot. And what I want to tell you before we actually jump in is this is a journey. A lot of you guys who started the call, I saw Daryl was there, Lorraine was there. I've known you guys for like 5, 6, 7 years. That's how long you've been back in Vancouver. So, people who I've met pretty much since the day I got here still hang out with me. Why? Because it gets better and better and better. And sometimes I'll see them every day for years, then I won't see them for months, and then they'll come back, and then they'll go, and then they'll come back. It's pretty normal. But people always keep a hand in the teapot of this work in some way. And when they do, it just gets better and better and better. So I always come up with acronyms. Most of you guys know that. I love acronyms. Acronyms help our mind to remember this. So we're going to jump into the juice of the work now, guys. So the word mesa, I actually looked it up. The word mesa means a flat hilltop, beautiful mountain in the middle of nowhere. So that's a picture of a mesa. And that's what we're going to start with tonight. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Mesa. Sounds better. So the acronym I'm going to use tonight to teach tonight's class is MESA, mind, thoughts. E for emotions, and that conversation of emotions, we'll talk about our inner being. S for the stress response. A for awareness, tools, and creating new neural pathways. Now in tonight's class, I'm going to do my best to get through as much as I can. But as you heard me saying about some of the clients who joined earlier on, a lot of you guys have been with me for years, and I'll tell you why. not because it takes years to learn how to do this work, but it's about constantly reapplying it. People always ask me, how long is it going to take, Divi? I always say, give me 12 weeks. Just start with me for 12 weeks. And after 12 weeks, you will have the fundamental building blocks and stones. The average client sticks around from 6 months to a year and a half, somewhere in there. So stick with me how long you want. But tonight I'm going to go through as much as I can. And I guarantee you I'm not going to get through everything because I don't have 7 years in an hour, right? But what I do have is the ability, I should say it differently. I don't have 12 weeks in an hour, but I have the ability to get you started. Okay, so before you leave tonight, you will have concrete tools that you will leave with tonight that will impact your life. Every time I start a workshop, I ask my guides, I ask my energy, I ask my divination to whoever's on the call tonight for me to be present for each of you and for me to present you material that you can leave with and positively affect your life, okay? So no matter what you get out of tonight, you will get something that will impact you. And after I've done my tiny presentation, I will be going back to take Q&As because I know some of you just joined me. So if you're typing into the question box and you're saying, Divi, you're not reading my question, it's because I'm on a different screen. So I will return to that question box shortly, but I will take questions, I'll do readings, I'll do all of that. And like I said at the beginning, we might go over an hour, and I hope that's cool with you guys. Or we might go under an hour, we'll see. All right, let's talk about the mind. Our mind. When I first learned this about 17 years ago, that we have 50 to 70 thoughts a day, I thought, what? 70,000 thoughts a day? You're kidding me. And the thing is, they're like a never-ending cycle. They go on and on and on and on. And for a lot of us, they're like a shuffle. They keep repeating themselves over and over and over again, just like on repeat. I'm going to actually stop the share for a quick heartbeat. Just give me a sec here. I just need to make sure there's nothing here. No, we're good. Awesome, guys. Sorry, I got the guidance to come back here. So let me go back to the screen. Apologies, guys. Let's go back to our lovely, there we go. Okay, good. All right, so our thoughts. We have 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And if you're like most, including me, you have certain ones that are on shuffle, certain ones that just repeat themselves over and over and over again. And the thing about our thoughts is you need to know thoughts are just energy. And a lot of times, like I said, they repeat. And they're habitual. And when sometimes we feel like they're completely outside of our control, that they're just going and going like on autopilot. And people say to me, but how can we ever stop them? And I'll tell you right now, guys, I'm in my mid to late 40s. I started getting into this work, I always say by accident, in my late 20s. And I started by the practice of yoga and meditation. And I hated meditation back then. I could not quiet my mind. I could not sit still. And my mind would go all the time. So when I say that I know what it's like to have a busy mind, I do. And I say to everybody, if my mind can go from that to what I do right now, I know anyone can. And you know how you know my mind is busy? I always make this joke, but it's true. I got into med school when I was 19 years old. It means from the time I was like about 6 or 7, I decided I was going to be a doctor when I was about 8 years old. From that young age, I was like full on 100 miles an hour ahead. So you can only imagine how busy my mind was. And so I want you to know that if I could slow down my mind, I could shift my thoughts, I could take it out of autopilot, you guys can too. No one on the planet can't. It just takes desire, discipline, and a little bit of work. So let's talk a little bit of emotions. And we're going to spend a little bit more time here than you might be surprised. You're like, why does she keep talking? So I'm actually going to go back to my video so you can see me when I talk about this. So what I want you to know about emotions is that emotions are just energy. Sorry, I'm just figuring out the cameras here. Emotions are just energy. I want you to be able to see me when I teach this. Emotions are just energy, and emotions can change. And just like our thoughts, that they're repetitive, emotions are exactly the same. They're repetitive over and over and over again. And what I want you to understand is that emotions can also shift. But what I'm going to teach you now is that I'm going to see if I can spotlight my video. Oh, there, I got myself big. Okay. Sorry, guys. Like I said, this is my first time using this. So I'm like, oh, this worked. Okay. So I needed you to see me so I could describe this next thing. Emotions, we never taught about emotions. I know I wasn't. All I knew is I grew up in a family where we didn't do emotions. Emotions were like the dust underneath the carpet, right? That's probably my existence, probably your existence, or something like that. And maybe you did emotions, but you didn't know what to do with them, which is also a very common thing. So the reason I took off the PowerPoint so you could see this is because this part of the discussion is super important, okay? Emotions are simply energy. Energy, that's in motion. Energy, that's meant to move through us. We're often never taught what emotions are. Emotions are simply that, energy and motion. And emotions are here to tell us one thing. In this moment that you're sitting in right now, the emotion that is being presented to you right now, that you are feeling right now, is for one reason. It is to tell you your alignment or your not alignment with your inner being. Some of you are going, what the heck are you talking about? Okay, so let's back the truck up a little bit. We have two voices. We have a mind, and most of us think of our mind up here, wherever our mind is, but I'll point up here. Our mind that thinks all the time. Chatter, 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 chatter. The mind. And then we have a second voice that most of us don't pay attention to. That second voice is called your spirit voice, your inner being voice, the quiet voice, your inner consciousness voice. Oprah calls it your whisper voice. It's that voice that when you stop thinking and you just get quiet for a second, you might be able to be perceptive of. That is your spirit voice. And what most people don't understand is the spirit voice is actually in communication with us all the time. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The spirit voice is just as communicative as the mind. But we're so used to listening to the mind that we don't actually ever pay attention to it. And one of the cruxers, the cruxer of my work that I teach people about self-healing, the cruxer, when you get it, that can change your life forever, is that emotions are here to tell you one thing: your alignment or not of your mind to your inner being. So we'll think of the mind as this hand and your inner being as this hand. And say the topic is my flowers that are behind me. I'm going to see if this is, it's not going to work. Don't worry about it. I won't use that for that. So your mind and your inner being. When the mind and inner being have the same opinion, the same thought about a topic, then the emotion that is felt is ease, freedom, joy, optimism, and love. Our inner being spirit voice it's old. It's been here forever, for every single one of our lifetimes. Our spirit voice is very wise and never veers us wrong. Our spirit voice is our consciousness voice. It's the knowing of your power. The mind, however, is often trained to something differently. So when the mind and inner being have the same opinion, the emotion feels amazing, like incredible. Right now I'm in love with every single one of you, and that feels so good because my mind and inner being are in the same place. But as soon as, remember, this is my mind, as soon as my mind moves a little bit away from its opinion about the topic, the first emotion that I'll feel may be a bit of frustration. Then if it moves a little bit more in the content of this topic, the next emotion I might feel might be discouragement or blame or anger. Moves a little bit more, I might get to rage. Moves as far as I can go, it's fear or anxiety or depression or powerlessness, even guilt. So a couple hours leading up to this event, I was working and doing my thing, and I was testing this out. I could feel myself getting nervous, and I could feel like, I'm anxious. It's the first time I was using this program. That's my excuse. And it's simply because my mind thinks I have to do something. And I've taught this so many times. And I know deep in my heart that it's not me doing this. I don't need to be afraid. It's nothing. I don't have to prove myself or make myself anything. And as soon as I remembered that, And I remember that the only job that I've got tonight is to love each of you on the call tonight, live or recorded. And as soon as I went there, the anxiety I was feeling in my belly, it went away. And it's that simple. Now, guys, I've been practicing this stuff for a long time, so I can do it pretty quickly. And I don't expect you all to get that as quickly, but the more you're willing to practice, the more you're willing to be conscious and be aware and be focused and pay attention to your emotions and so on, the easier and easier this gets. But the key is having the desire to do the work, guys. That's the key, okay? So that was a bit about emotion. So I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. We're going to jump back and forth, back and forth. But that's what your emotions are. Basically, your alignment or not alignment with your inner being. So I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint in a second. But what I want you to get is your emotions are here as basically a navigating tool for your spirit and your being voice. Your soul voice is your gut feeling. It's that feeling inside of you that says, yes. And for a lot of us, when I work with beginner clients, I ask them all the time, how often do you listen to that? And the most interesting thing I almost always hear is, I forgot to listen to that after marriage number 1, after marriage number 2, right? So, I got married the first time, I had a gut feeling not to, and I didn't listen. Most of us are out-trained from that gut feeling. Most of us are. But as soon as you start to do this work, you will start to listen to your gut feeling more. You will start to listen to your spirit voice more. So again, your emotions can be repetitive. They're about your alignment with your mind and your spirit. And they're about that alignment or not. And the greatest thing you need to know is emotions can be shifted. I shared with you how I shifted my anxiety from a few hours ago within a few minutes. And that's the thing. It just takes practice. And that's a lot of the tools and techniques I teach people. Let's go on a little bit more further here. Let's see if my PowerPoint will move for me. So give it a second. I think it'll move. Took a second last time. So emotions are simply that. They are about our mind and our inner being. I might have to come out here. Okay, guys, just give me 1 sec. I'm trying to get, oopsie. Let's go back here. Oops, okay, that's okay. We're going to stay here. The thing about our emotions, if we keep them out of balance, if we're always in frustration, always in anger, always in worry, the thing about emotions, and remember I said a few minutes ago, emotions are energy that are meant to move through our body. If the energy does not move and we stay in that cycle, even if we're not conscious of it, but we stay in that cycle of low-level frustration, low-level anger, low-level weird worry or whatever, if we stay in that cycle, what will start to happen is that those emotions will literally get stuck in your body. And that's why I chose this picture of the arrow in our body. And it can create, and most of you know this, it can create everything from chronic pain to high blood pressure, depression, disease, anxiety, PTSD, you name it, it creates it. And that's the crazy thing. Emotions create all this. I see people all the time with every health issue, from recurrent infections to diabetes to chronic pain to this to that, who come in to see me. And after a little bit of work, we start to unstick the emotion from their body, and then it releases. It's really quite cool. And the thing is, if it was that easy, as easy as I'm describing, why don't we all do it? I'll tell you why it's not always that easy. It's simply because what we call the conscious mind, which we're all talking about, I know better, I should know better, obviously. But then we have this unconscious mind. And the unconscious mind is like that hidden iceberg. And studies in psychology have showed us that 95% of human adult actions come from the unconscious. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely crazy. So you're probably going, Divi, great. If it's unconscious, if it's subconscious, how the heck can I get access to it? That's the work I do. The unconscious mind can become conscious through mind, body, spirit work. And that is the power of this work. The power within each of us lies when we tap in to our unconscious patterning. And we bring that deep iceberg up to the water, and then we become conscious, and then we actually start to shift. That is where the power lies. And the route to be tapping into your unconscious is your emotions. And like most of you know, some of you, a lot of you tonight I've never met, which is awesome. The key is emotions. And when I always say this story, when I started this work, I was like 28 years old, and I didn't know my emotions from my foot. Okay, not a word of a lie. I didn't know my emotions from my foot, from my hair, from my sock, from my toe. Okay, because I had spent 27 years not listening to my emotions because I was out-trained. But if you had asked me when I was 27, 28, how do you feel? I might have been able to label it. I would have said, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm worried. But I really didn't know. I really, really didn't know. And what I'm excited about is that with this work, you can uncover your emotions and it doesn't have to be hard. And that's the coolest thing. All right, can you tell I'm excited? So we use emotions to dive deeply into understanding what our unconscious is, because those emotions that don't serve us, that I talked about earlier, between our mind and our inner being, those emotions that don't serve us, they're triggering your amygdala. And you're probably going, your amygdala, what the heck are you talking about, Divi? All right, the amygdala. Did I tell you guys I love teaching this work? The amygdala. Okay, so this is our brain, okay? And I'm not going to go into too much neuroscience or anything like that, but all you need to know is the amygdala. See where the amygdala is? That's a little organ right there in your midbrain. It is the size of an almond. The amygdala has a job. The amygdala's job is to keep us safe. The amygdala's job is to keep us alive. The amygdala's job is to keep us in the past and the future. The amygdala is here to keep us safe. It's all about survival. So the amygdala holds on to those old memories. And if you notice in that picture, the amygdala is directly connected to your hypothalamus pituitary area. And that's connected to your adrenaline. So what I'm trying to say here, I'm going to back up a little bit because I know I'm talking really quickly and you're probably thinking, what is she talking about? I'm going to stop the sharing and get to the video so you can see me. So let us talk a bit about what I'm talking about. And I'm back on this screen. So if there's questions so far, please feel free to type them in. Or if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, feel free to, because I'm going to go a bit deeper after this. So the amygdala is this little teeny almond-sized organ right here in your midbrain. Okay, kind of take my finger, go in a bunch of inches, it's right there. So deep and subconscious patterning is typically formed between the ages of 0 till about 12 or 13, give or take. And that job of the amygdala is to keep us safe. And it remembers deep old fears. Okay? And we can be going through our adult conscious life, awake conscious life, moving through life, and we can see something that our sub and unconscious remembers, and it triggers it. And it triggers the amygdala even though you're not 7 years old. Whatever you're dealing with feels like you're 7 years old, even if you don't know it. Okay, and I'll give you an example, a couple examples in a second. And then what happens is the amygdala fires, and then that triggers our hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, and then we get fight or flight happening. And then when we get fight or flight, we get the stress response, which then creates 85 to 90% of our illnesses. Blood pressure goes up, our gut doesn't work, our heart rate goes up, we produce more blood sugar, we can't metabolize our food, we start to gain weight. All of the syndromes that we deal with on a common day-to-day basis are simply because our amygdala is being triggered. And some of you are sitting there going, but Divi, 0 to 12 was great for me. I had a great childhood, and I'm sure it was wonderful. The thing about 0, and I just heard some of you guys saying, my 0 to 12 wasn't great. The thing is, the interpretation of a child's brain is such that even the slightest bit of fear can often be internalized on such an extreme event that it holds on to it like fight or flight. So I'm going to give you small examples and I'll give you big examples. And like I said a few minutes ago, feel free to type in questions, or if you need some help in something that I'm triggering in you, feel free to type it in, or we can unmute you and get talking to you guys. Remember, this is interactive, right? So I'll give you small and big examples. So here's a relatively small example. Imagine that you were going through life, and maybe at the age of 6 or 7, your parents started fighting. And maybe that was leading to you feeling not safe, okay? And maybe your mom would cry and your dad would get angry. I'm making this up, obviously. But then anger triggers you. And then powerlessness, say on your mom's part, triggers you as well. And then you go through your adult life, okay? And this is deep in the unconscious. It's trapped in your amygdala. Let's say you've got a boss who's got a bit of a temper. Or you've got a coworker who's not really powerful. And all you know is every time you go to work, your gut feels off. You can't stand your boss and you don't know why. Your coworker drives you crazy and you're like, you can't move from your cubicle. And all you know is you leave every day from work feeling awful. What's happening, it sounds crazy, but your amygdala is being triggered. I see it every single day. And when I teach people how to rewire around the amygdala so you're not firing in fight or flight, then it changes. Here's another example related to that. So imagine dad would raise his voice and it would trigger you, your 7-year-old inside of you. Then you grow up and your boss says, clean your desk because it's a mess. And your amygdala goes, oh my God, I'm not good enough. What's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? What's happening? And your amygdala starts to go nuts. Then your body takes on the hypothalamus pituitary, then gets reacted. Stress hormones get secreted because the mind makes it mean, what's wrong with me? I'm not good enough. Oh my God, what did I do wrong? Just like you did when you were 7 or 8. So bringing awareness to this and learning techniques and pathways that I teach clients and how to rewire the neural pathways then creates a new wiring around the amygdala. And that is the key. If this is your amygdala and you and I can figure out what's triggering it, then we can stop the secondary response, which is the fight or flight. So think of it like cause and effect. The effect is the illness. The effect is your body going into fight or flight. The effect is the disease. And the cause is always how the mind is perceiving something, and then the amygdala is firing. And then when the amygdala fires, our body is the effect. So the cause is the perception, the cause is what's trapped in the amygdala, and the only way around it is, number 1, to bring conscious awareness to it. Number 2, start to create a new neural pathway. And number 3, start to decrease the time between when the event occurs and the response is happening. Then we start to rewire our brain. Then we start to feel happier, easier, more let go, more possible, more capable. And that's when everything in your life starts to change. Before I go back to the presentation, I want to share with you very briefly, a lot of you guys know this, how I got into this work personally before I go back to the presentation. I was 27, 28 years old. As a family doctor, I moved to the beautiful city of Vancouver, from Toronto to Princeton to here. And I should have it all together. I was racing triathlons. I was married to my first husband. He was also a doctor. We should have it all, right? Money was good. Our life was good. I was a vegetarian. I was thin. Great. That's when the chronic pain hit. Chronic pain doesn't start like that. It starts like day after day after day after day. I woke up 3 to 6 months later going, everything hurts. I couldn't walk from here to my door, which is, 15 feet away. I don't know how far 15 feet is, without feeling pain. The next thing I know, I start to get recurrent infections, from yeast infections to bladder infections, to chest infections to throat infections. I felt sick all the time. Then I started to develop allergies to foods, to external allergens, all kinds of allergies. And it was all kind of like a tumblestone. Within just a few months, it was like, ah! And it didn't make any sense. And my journey started personally with yoga, because somehow in me, I knew there must be a connection between how busy the mind was and what was going on with my body. If you've watched my TED Talk, I say in there, not once did I study this in medicine, because I hadn't. I was taking every medication known to mankind. Nothing was working. And so sorry if you hear that in the background. I think my son is printing something. We've got a remote printer. So all I knew was that my body needed a break. And all I could think was, my mind is crazy. I need to do something. So I started yoga on the recommendation of a massage therapist. And that started the journey I'm on now. I now work teaching mind, body, spirit medicine. I realized that all those years and months and classes, and I still practice yoga, that took me to do yoga and meditate to heal my body. I actually didn't have to take that long. It could be faster. And now I work with clients with everything from chronic pain to allergies to food insensitivities to multiple sclerosis. You name it, I see it. Unhappiness, depression, anxiety, irritable bowel syndrome, ulcerative colitis, abundance issues, relationship issues, divorce. I see it all. Because it doesn't matter what the client comes in with. rewiring the neural pathways is always the same. And I'm so dedicated to this work. I love this work because I see the benefits, the positive effects every day in my own life and in my client's life. And so it's an honor to have you on the webinar with me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking time out of your evening. We're not done, don't worry. I just got so excited I had to share that with you. But let me go back to the presentation. So I want you to know, before I keep going, that this is possible. It just takes a little bit of focus and discipline. And like I said, it takes on average 12 weeks to start, because science has shown us it takes 12 weeks to start to rewire the neural pathways. Let me go back to the presentation. And guys, reminder, feel free to type things in. You guys are quiet. Or if you've got personal questions, like I said when I started this, I'm happy to do intuitive readings as we go here tonight. So let's go back to my presentation. What am I doing? Oh no, did I pause the recording? No, I didn't think I paused the recording. No, I did. Oh, there's a chat button. Oh, here, chat box. Okay. This is from Tori. Hi, Tori. Oh, Tori, can I read this out loud? She wrote privately. Okay, I'm just going to read this. It totally lands. I started developing shoulder pain. I have a tendency to hold my stress in my shoulders. As soon as I left the office, I felt better. I'm becoming more in tune with how my body reacts in certain situations. I'm not sure if it's because I'm waiting to leave my job and do a thing, but full-time or what. I guess just being aware has its benefits. Okay, so let me just tune into it, Tori. Give me a sec here. So yeah, it's about you stepping into magnificence and in terms of what you truly want to be passionate in the world about. But there's a neural pathway that I keep seeing, your amygdala is talking to me right now, that's talking about not good enough. Why am I doing this? Oh my God, it's really heavy in your chest. What's wrong with me? Is like bringing up emotions. So I know this is kind of landing. I should be doing that. Like, I mean, your passion, like, you know that. But why am I stuck here? What's wrong? Why can't I make that work? And if you hear the words make that work. And that's what your amygdala is doing. So Tori, I need you to know, and I think you know this. A lot of you guys know this about me. When I returned to Vancouver, it's been about 7 years since I came back to Vancouver from the island. And I could do this work, but I was afraid. And I know a bunch of you on the call did level 2 with us about a month ago, and are now professional intuitives and can get out there and do what I do, and are a bit afraid. I get it. So I came back and I set up a medical practice because that was easier, right, than setting up an intuitive business, at least I thought. And Tori, I went through the same thing you're describing, and some of you remember I had acne breakouts all the time because that's where mine had to go. And I just had to take time, Tori, and I had to come to peace with my work as a doctor. I had to come to peace and loving that side of me and not making it wrong that I was doing that. So I want you to think of the same, that your soul is not in a rush. Your mind is in a bit of a rush, but it doesn't need to be. Your soul is patient and your soul loves you. And when you open your heart to yourself, you know in your divine expression and expansion that your passionate career is always there. And as you love and come to peace and enjoy and revel in what you do and give it 100% of your love, then the other thing you're up to over here can start to have a bit more energy. But see, the tug of war that's going on with you is what's creating the shoulder pain. So a lot of people think, I got to leave that job and do my passion to get rid of the pain. That's not true. You want to find that piece of peace and love, because the same energy of I'm not good enough or whatever the heck you carry around with you, which I carry too, we all carry it. I can't do my passion. If you don't, let me say it differently. As you mop it up in your job and then you start to your passion career, then you can swing it over there too. And, before we wrap up, we'll talk a little bit about the abundance course, because I think that'll help you, Tori, but we'll get there as I go. So this is from Natasha. Hi, Divi, I'm new. Yay! I'm not sure how this works. Would you be able to tune into me and give me some insight into why I've been struggling with IBS, Candida over a decade? Yes, I can. So how long I'll get to you in 20 seconds. So let me do Natasha first. Sorry, I just have to read that again. Okay. So, wow. So Natasha, Natasha, you did great. That's exactly what I'd like you to do, to type it in. That's awesome. So Natasha, I want you to know that, and guys, if you want to unmute yourselves and talk to me, that's cool too. Okay. Natasha, I want you to know that what I feel in your energy body is a heaviness in your chest and your heart area, through your lungs and your throat, back of your neck, up the back, down into your upper body. That's kind of where I feel the heaviness. That's what's causing your IBS, your candida. Sorry, you guys are typing in too quick. You're so cute. IBS, candida issues. Okay, it's really in your throat, sweetie. Really in your throat. And it feels like it's related around, again, similar to Tori, but slightly different. It's got a lot to do with you being heard. And it feels like there's some frustration, resistance. I feel like it's around work, but it could be also around partnership. Now, the partnership, if you're not in a relationship, could be even with family, dogs, kids, whatever. But that's a reflection of your partnership with yourself. Okay. What else are they saying to me? And it feels like I keep seeing an anger that you've got towards yourself. That's what I'm feeling in your neck. And that feels like it's related to more your IBS. So, and just take that in, Natasha, and let me know how that lands for you. And it feels like also, Natasha, there's an urgency to speak your mind, an urgency to be heard. And all of that is kind of stuck through here. And it feels also like you don't feel heard, don't feel respected, don't feel honored. And they're also saying some other things. And part of you wants to scream, and that's totally cool. But that's what it feels like it is. And Natasha, as we go back into the presentation, which I'm cool to do all of this, as we get back to the presentation, I can teach you how to rewire that, okay? So, Natasha, what you're dealing with, Tori, what you're dealing with, it's all pretty normal. And you guys, if you don't think I've had this, I personally have had it. All right, so I hope that helps, Natasha. Let me know if that helps. Okay, so let's see. Oh, sorry, Helen. Sorry, I lost you, Helen. Helen, Divi, I've decided to leave my job. It's been very stressful. I'm not worried about what's next. I'm not worried about what's next. But what's next? Oh, you're so cute. I love that. Okay. All right. You guys are awesome. Okay. It's about freedom, Helen. It's about imagining and dreaming what that expansiveness feels like. Feels like you were doing that before, but there's fear about that. And it's about empowerment. Wow, because that empowerment piece keeps coming in from your soul. So what I'd like you to do, Helen, is sit possibly in a meditation and ask your soul what it feels like. Not so much, because what you're asking is specifically what's next, but it's not specific, it's more general. What do I want to feel is next? And be open to what you receive. And Helen, I would look at the intuition course because they're screaming it right now really loudly in my ear. And we'll talk, I know you know about it. We'll talk about it closer to when I get back into PowerPoint. But that's what it feels like, Helen, right now. It's like let yourself dream of what's next. They're showing me a white big space outside of your chest. So dream about what's next, okay? Awesome. Okay. Dylan, this is amazing. I worked from 15, Dylan, is it okay if I share this? I think I can. This is amazing. I worked from 15 or 16. I worked up from, okay. Rain, oh, it's go. I started yoga. Okay. I'm going to, Dylan, is it okay that I read this out loud? I'm going to say yes. Okay. I'm going to say yes. Okay, great, Natasha. That helps. Dylan says yes, it's okay. Okay, great. This is amazing. I worked from 15/16 and moved out from a toxic environment, and my brain is always go. I started with yoga. I've kind of come leaps and bounds since then. Yay! And Reiki helps. Yay! Self-awareness is key, but my anxiety is still rampant. I know. I feel like I should be happy. But I have so many triggers. I hear you. Some I feel I can figure out, some I can't. The rewiring has helped me in some ways, but I find myself frustrated not being able to figure out the rest. My anxiety is life-consuming. It's really scary. Okay. Yeah, Dylan, your anxiety is right up here. Yeah, you can see me. Okay. Right up in your throat, right down in your lower gut and your lower back, and your shoulders and your neck. That's where it's locked, Dylan. I hope you don't mind, Dylan, but they're giving me a swear word, the F word. I think you know that word. And I keep hearing F, I just want to be me. I want to be me without all of this sadness, all of this overwhelmment. I want to find me. What I'm going to say to you, Dylan, is it's in you. It's in your soul. And it's about the next many steps, Dylan, are about tapping into your divine I am, your intuitive power. They're also saying your grace. I keep hearing the word power. Your power. And your infinite capacity to love. That's what I keep hearing. And Dylan, I keep sensing you want to express that in the world. You want to be that energy in the world. And as you start to bring that out, your anxiety will start to shift. But your anxiety is like the habit, the amygdala firing. And there's deeper layers, and I'm not going to go into it, just not because of any reason, Dylan. But we just need to do those steps first before we can go into those next steps. They're saying to stop there. But that's what I'm going to get you to feel into, and let me know how that lands, Dylan, about stepping into that divine power. I want you to feel that in your body, and we're going to do a meditation before we end. And guys, we are going to go over an hour, so just so you know, if you want to go get a coffee or get some food and come back. So Dylan, we're going to go into meditation later on about bringing the divine I am in. And when you hold that more, the anxiety can start to shift. And that's like one of the first techniques I would teach you. And there's others there. I can feel it in your gut too. And there's a part of you that's afraid to feel that. So when we step into that meditation, they're also saying it's about opening Dylan's intuition. I think you know that. So, and I keep hearing also, it's like Dylan's afraid to be Dylan. I get that. I totally get that. Dylan, you have no idea. Divi's afraid to be Divi. Okay. I get this. I hear you. I got this. I got you. But when Divi steps into the spirit Divi, which is where Divi is right now, that's when life happens. And that's when anxiety goes away. It's not that anxiety goes away, but say it differently. Anxiety, it's like I'm grabbing the opposite of the stick. So I teach ends of stick. So you got a pen in front of you. Anxiety here, empowerment here. And so Dylan, they're telling me to tell you that we want to grab this end. So type in and let me know if that helps a bit for you, okay? Okay, perfect. All this is landing. Okay, great. I'm just going back to your message in a second, Chantel, seeing how many messages I've got. Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious. You got so much going on. All right, cool. I will get to all of your messages, I promise. So let me go back to Sean. Okay, so if you guys can slow down. Oh, I've got 12 new messages. So if you guys can slow down and pause for a minute just so I can address these and stop typing in messages or like things for me to tune into. I have no problems to saying till 8 o'clock tonight. No problem at all. But I want to address these. I want to jump back to the PowerPoint. So I'm going to address the ones that I've got, jump back to the PowerPoint, and then come back to you guys. Got it? I'm going to address what I've got, though. And then I'll do all of you guys tonight. I promise. As much as I can before I get tired. Okay. Chantal, right. Same here, Helen. I guess there is a theme tonight. So I have been listening to my gut in many different ways and in my life the last 5+ months. And although I'm happier with my life, I am happier with life, I am moving forward, I'm also financially worse, okay? And I've been in 15 years. It is really hard to stay in trust when you're constant, okay, rent check, okay, got it. Okay. And Chantel, I know you know this. And I know you know this, and please don't get mad at me for saying this. I don't think you'll get mad. That's why getting a job, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? And I know it's like, oh, but I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. But what I would say to you, Chantel, is you now have tools and techniques in your tool belt that when and if you choose to return to that other work that maybe you used to do or did do in the past, rewiring that amygdala. Oh my God, you can do that like that. Like that. And if that gives you a paycheck that you're not stressed, then your other businesses can take off like that. Okay? So I want you to play with that. Yeah, they're saying to leave that, Chantal, because you've got the tools and you're so powerful, so powerful. And just like I was saying to Dylan, that fear can grab us. And sometimes having that JOB can then allow that fear to settle so we can step in our power. Okay? All right, great. So Helen, Dylan, awesome. Okay, cool. Okay, Catherine types in. Okay, okay. I have a feeling of powerlessness in working with authority figures like bosses who treat others with a lack of consideration ethics. I tend to speak up on others people's behalf and put myself in harm's way. I'm recovering from IBS and experiencing anxiety. Let's search for a new career opportunity. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay. Just have to read that again. So Catherine, okay, and it's the IBS. Okay. All right, so Catherine, it feels like some of this, a lot of this, some of this, some of it, a lot of it. I'm getting both words at the same time. Much of it is from this part of you that thinks this is fair, okay, that things are about fair. As you guys read in my PowerPoint, in the work I teach people, it's much more than just energy, and it's much more than just metaphysics, and it's much more than just law of attraction. But I want you to pay attention to law of attraction here. So Catherine, when you really land law of attraction, really, truly get it, I know you do, you'll understand that, second, we go in here. Somebody's got there, is unmuted. Whoever's unmuted, do you mind muting yourself so I don't have to find you, just because I can hear you pouring water? So what I keep feeling in your energy, Catherine, is that when you get that everybody creates their own life. I'm going to say that again. Everyone creates their own life. Everyone creates their own life. Then we realize that there's nothing wrong with speaking up for others who might feel powerless or on their behalf. But what's a million times more empowering is to teach them how to shift their vibration, how to teach them how to shift what's happening for them. And part of this fear that I keep feeling, Catherine, in your body around authority figures feels like it's related to your fear of being you. And it may be that your amygdala, oh no, they're saying yes. Her amygdala was fired from something in her younger years that feels more related to teacher / parent / sibling, but teacher and sibling is what's coming in right now. That's fired your amygdala on authority figures. I keep hearing teachers. So those are the two things I'd look at. Because that anxiety you're experiencing, when you really recognize that you don't have, it's not like there's anything wrong for speaking up for others, and I respect and honor and love you for doing that. That's awesome, Catherine. But what happens is it robs you. And what just happened? As you start to get that, what starts to happen is it'll start to shift. I don't know what just happened. Daryl, I don't know what you just did to me, sweetie. Daryl, what did you just do? Okay, thank you, Daryl. I don't know what you just did. I love you. I don't know what you did. Okay, so does that answer your question, Catherine? I think that lands. Okay, well, that's on point. Shirley writes in. Shirley writes in, hi, Divi. I started attending your classes in January of 2016. Hi, Shirley. I love them all. I had eczema then and improved over the year. Yay! Now it breaks up with eczema again. Where should I start to heal? Come back! All right, or just come back. I haven't gone anywhere. I'll get into my workshops and programs closer to the end. Okay. Skin, Shirley, for everyone on the call, it's fear of survival. Okay. So it's looking at what your amygdala is firing about a fear of survival. And Chantel, you're same thing, fear of survival. We have an unlimited resource underneath us at all times. Underneath us at all time. And when we truly get that there is unlimited energy that we always have happening for us, then our fear of survival can shift. But surely that amygdala is firing that fear of survival because of what you're going through right now. Okay. And that's where you need to tap into your divination. When I do that meditation that I was speaking of earlier, that hopefully will start to help, but we need to do this regularly. And the key with MBS, or mind, body, spirit medicine, guys, and healing something in 12 weeks, and Shirley, you know this, it's got to be daily. And that's why all my programs have a daily component to them. Because every day, if we're not addressing it, and I don't mean address it like a teacher, I mean just be conscious of it. That's all I'm asking, is be conscious of it. And the more conscious we are of it, the more we can start to rewire that neural pathway. Hopefully that helps, Shirley. I hope that helps. Let me know. Okay, so Dylan says, yes. Okay, always punch the throat helps. Oh, perfect. Tiara writes in, I'm watching you for the first time. Yay! Hi, Tiara. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I think I need reading glasses, but I'm refusing them. My lower back is always sore. Okay. All right. So Tiara, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Tara. Again, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that right. Tara. Okay, my lower back is always sore. Give me a sec, Tara. Let me go into your energies. Okay, I'm getting 2 or 3 things, Tara. One is fear of survival. There's a bunch of things. Okay, fear of survival, fear of being you. There feels like there's a lot of cords, a lot of attachments to family of origin, to culture of origin, to all that stuff, and it's your definition outside of that. Ooh, that's really heavy. I can feel it in your body, Tara. And it feels like when you start to unwire that stuff and define who you are, which in the Ignite Your Inner Healer program we do a lot of, then you can start to unwire it. That's exactly what they're saying. But it's going to take her learning specific tools and techniques around her emotions, they're saying, because fear was something she was taught, Tara. That's what you were taught. And when you understand that, that makes sense as to why that grounding energy has some wiring in it. So I hope that helps as a place to start. Yeah, I hope that helps, and let me know if that helps, okay? Okay, so, oh, thanks, Dylan. That's so sweet of you. Actually, Dylan writes, I'm gifted. That's so sweet. Okay, so what is going on? Okay, Stacy. Hi, Divi. I have been having a lot of pain in my left wrist that has prevented me from being able to do a lot. Oh, yeah, yoga and fitness. I get it, honey. I have pursued natural medicine approaches and mainstream tests, yet nothing seems to be wrong or providing me relief. I'm trying to connect my gut and see the source could be coming from, but I'm unable to. Okay, thanks, Stacy. So it's your left. All right, right away, Stacy, right away. I'm getting, it's connected to your heart and your shoulder, and it's actually directly connected to your heart. So it feels like it's connected to, well, they keep saying heart, heart, heart. She's got layers, and it's more than one just layer. Love you, Stacy, that are there, that are about fear. And it feels like, and it sounds so weird, right? My wrist is related to fear of partnership. Fear of being me, fear of stepping into my power. It's like, but it feels more like love related, which might be intimate relationship love, partnership love, work love. Because Stacey, we can only be in fear or love, right? Or yeah, fear or love, right? And when you're in fear because you're so sensitive, Stacey, think of it like a layer of fascia or thickness tightens your heart, tightens the shoulder, and then that's tightening the wrist. That's where it's coming from. It's coming from the heart chakra. Okay. All right. What do we got here? Tara writes, sore, and my hips and muscles seem tightened and don't move. What can I do? Okay, and Tara, I'm going to get back to you in just a second because that was the lower back, so I'll get back to you in a second. Sean writes, beautiful. Rupali writes, Divi, I've always had back pain. I always sleepy. What can I do? Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Dylan. Okay, so let me go back to Rupali, and then Tara, I haven't forgotten you. Well, let me know if what I said, Tara, helped, and then I'll address it if needed. Rupali, I always have back pain. Okay, Rupali, right away what I'm getting is it doesn't, okay. You can never be disconnected from your divine consciousness, ever, ever. Your divine consciousness is always there. But what I keep feeling from you, Rupali, especially around the energy, the guides are showing me a cord from your lower back. They're saying connect it to the power source, which whatever your power source is, I keep seeing into the wall of her divinity. She needs to connect with her divine. So I would tell you, probably we're going to do meditation a little while here. And they're telling me to tell you to start to meditate. That will help the energy a lot. And to start to slow down your mind. I keep hearing your mind super busy. So I keep hearing tell her to connect, tell her to connect, tell her to connect. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's see. Okay. And if you guys didn't hear this, let me just see how many more I've got. Oh, you guys are so cute. I know that. Okay. So I'm going to address everything up to Alex, and then let me just see what I'm going to do. Give me 20 seconds, okay? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just, because I know some of you have to leave because it's close to 7 o'clock. All right. So those of you who have typed in, I am going to address every one of your comments and questions in full tonight. I absolutely promise. And, oh, thank you, Natalie. And I'm going to address Natalie and Rupali. I know you typed in more, but what I'm going to do is just give me 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. They're saying give me 5 minutes to finish off the presentation. Then I'll come back to these questions and answers, and then we'll do a wrap up. Cool? Okay, let me go back to this. You guys will see why I'm asking you to take a break, just because, we're getting into personal stuff, and I know anyway, let me just go back. I'll stop talking. All right, so share screen. As you guys can see, I love to talk. All right, so we did the amygdala. Okay, let's go here. After a number of readings that I just did, you can see true healing is about understanding your emotions, your mind, and your thoughts, and getting to know your amygdala triggers like we did with Dylan and like we did with a bunch of you guys. And then the most important thing is first you have to identify them. Then the most important thing, we want to start to create new patterns, new neural pathways. Never, ever, ever done. Right, Shirley? Right? All right. Oh, give it a second. I'll wake up. My PowerPoint needs to wake up. Because we are never, ever done, which is why there's people on the call who have been with me for 7 years. I mean, guys, it's a never-ending journey, but it gets better and better and better. And it gets easier and easier and easier as you do the work. So let me just see. Oh, there we go. So mind, body, spirit, self-healing is about understanding our emotions. It's about deepening our relationship with ourself. And when I say self, I mean our higher self, our big self. increasing our love in our body, rewiring our brain, feeling and healing and repatterning our lives. That's what mind, body, spirit, self-healing is. That's, in a nutshell, what you've seen me do with a few of you guys. And I'm going to go back and finish you guys off. That's what this work is. And the results: greater health, greater energy, greater vitality, greater happiness, greater abundance, greater relationships. Guys, I am 47 years old, okay? And I have more energy now than I did when I was 27. And so much more happiness and bliss. When I was 27, if I was doing something on my computer and my son printed out something from the computer, I would have lost my mind. Because, I'm teaching a workshop around the world. What are you doing printing something out? That would have been my response. Well, my brain is trained. I love my son. He's getting ready for school tomorrow. He's doing his homework. He printed something out. He didn't realize I could hear it. Do you see how I did that? I trained my brain because I could feel like if I was 27, my response would have been different. But because I've been doing this work, the response can shift. And the work really took off for me when I started to really get into the consciousness. I still practice yoga, but I needed to get into the consciousness, the really thoughts, the emotions, MBS work, which then took the yoga to a different level. So I'd love each of you to join me. And I'll tell you a bit about my workshops before I go back to finish the readings. So I can tell you guys are excited. I can tell. You guys rock. You're amazing. You're exciting. And how do we take this further? If you open your email, you'll see an email there, and I'll fill in more after I do all the readings and finish this. But there is so much potential. And some of you guys, Chantel, some of you guys have been studying with me for a while, for Helen, Lorraine. Living life on purpose, love, freedom, and joy, there's nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it. For you to get to know your purpose and your passion, that's what life is all about, right? So I'm going to give you a couple options, okay? First option, and this is in an email I sent you, and the coolest thing is, for those of you live or listening to the recording by tomorrow, when I was meditating on this class, I tune in and I set my slides up, depending on what I'm told. So I'm offering a 10% reduction for people who have watched this video. Feel free to share the video till Friday night, Saturday morning, okay? So Ignite the Inner Healer, let me describe that course, okay? Everyone that I worked with on something healing in their body, this course will transform you. That's a course Shirley took when she told you that her eczema went away. That's the course she took, okay? It's a 12-week course. It can be done completely online. There is an in-person section if you live in Vancouver, but can be accessed completely online as well. Okay? What happens over the 12 weeks? Every single day of the 12 weeks, you will get a daily email from me saying good morning and what's called a daily upbeat. So how those daily upbeats work is they're meant to start you off on the right foot, so you have something to start your day off with, to start you off in a good feeling place. Then every week there's a 1-hour video that's going to teach you something about self-healing, okay, over the 12 weeks. Then every week on Wednesdays from 5:30 to 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I host a 1.5-hour call that's live that you can call in for, type in for, and I might actually move into the Zoom video feature so you guys can type in. It is immersive and it's fun. So essentially it takes 1 to 2 hours a week. You don't have to do it all at once. You have access to everything I give you for the 12 weeks for the rest of your life. You keep the videos forever, keep the daily emails forever, you keep the calls forever. Okay? But those 12 weeks will teach you how to start to rewire your brain. Everyone with a capital E who has taken my Ignite Your Inner Healer course shifts. Everyone. I even hired this woman to help me with my website, by the way, which is being redone. So if you go to my website and go, this is different than what's here, it's because my website's being changed as we speak. So, and I was so excited to teach this workshop that I didn't want to wait till my website was done. So I hired this woman to redo the content, not redo, but help me to lay out my website differently, okay? So I gave her access to my courses so she knew what the heck I teach. She took my courses and she goes, Divi, this course is like nothing I've taken before, and I've taken almost every spiritual course out there, she said to me. Her name is Kelly. She said, Divi, you are such an incredible teacher, and you guys need to know it's not me. It's Divi with a capital D. It's Divi in her divine spirit, I am, who does this work. And so Kelly said to me, Divi, this is amazing. I've healed my allergies by taking your 12-week course. Isn't that crazy? And I just hired her to help me. So this stuff works, okay? Other option, financial abundance course. I'll come to price points in a second. Set up exactly the same as the 12-week online course, but this course is all about rewiring your brain about financial abundance. So just like I gave you some examples about the Ignite the Inner Third course, same thing happened with the financial abundance course. I had a client in England who's actually a professor. She has a regular job as a professor. She always wants to teach people about stress reduction. During the abundance course, week 10 of the abundance course, she landed a gig at her university where she teaches stress reduction to the students. Amazing, eh? Incredible. They approached her. That's the abundance course. Another one of my clients was manifesting a home in California. Wasn't in California. He got in Hawaii. I don't know. Hawaii, California. I'll take it. That was week 9 of the abundance course that happened for him. So guys, the abundance course works to rewire. Now, each of my courses are $449. There are payment plans on them. And if you guys sign up by Friday or Saturday, you get a 10% reduction. There's a link in your inbox, in your email box, and I'll send it out again in case you didn't get it. That gives you the URL link to get the reduced price on the PayPal. It's $404.10, a reduced price. Why did I do it? Because the guides told me to do it, because you guys attended the 1-hour workshop. So, congratulations. You get a deal. You get something fun. You get abundance. You get to receive good stuff. Oh, I knew I was going to talk about this tonight. And I've got another webinar coming up in a few weeks about specifically teaching. But I know that on the call tonight, there were a few of you that I've already worked with. A bunch of you, you know who you are. You are teachers. The thing about teaching anything is when you teach it, you know it. To teach and touch another's life is like divine. It is the divine acting through the divine. There is nothing like this. So if you think you want to teach this work, the first step is to do your Ignite Your Inner Healer course. The next step after that, you have to have half of that course done before you do level 1 facilitator training, which is all about learning all the tools and techniques and learning how to teach that in groups. The next set of those dates are July 28th to the 30th here in Vancouver, but level 1 can also be done by distance. It will teach you how to teach the ABCs to Zs of this work, okay? That will get you ready to teach this work in groups, healthcare settings, groups if you're a chiropractor, massage, physio, to your clients, or to your friends. I have so many people who do level 1 for themselves as a deepening of the Ignite course. So Shirley, maybe you'll want to think of doing level 1. So it's a 3-day deep immersion, July 28th to the 30th. It is over the moon. Amazing event. Then there's level 2 intuitive work. So you guys saw me so far working with people intuitively. We just ran an intuitive training up in Whistler with my coach, Lynette Brown, who is an incredible, incredible intuitive teacher. So we're doing that in the fall of this year coming up. Level 1 is a prerequisite to level 2 because if you don't have the tools down, intuition, it's not that it's impossible, it's that to really land intuition and to own it, we want you all to have level 1 down. Understood? Got it? Okay, and that's going to be happening in the fall. This work is about one person. Love, you with a capital U. And it's all about love. Because that is who you are to your core. You are love. You are love. And when you really get that, then everything in your life can actually start to change. Okay? Awesome. So let me go back and feel free to type in any questions or comments specifically about what I just wrote in, about what the event, the presentation. And now I'm going to go back to the questions you guys typed in. And if there's new ones you want to type in, feel free to. But just so you know, I can't go all night. I have an emergency client at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So I've got about 45 more minutes with you guys. I need to eat some food before I do that call. So let me go back to the readings. And guys, if you have any questions about the presentation, feel free to email me. And I need to say one other thing if you missed it at the beginning. With the new technology, I'm not 100% sure how to email you the actual link. I'm going to get Sasha to try to figure it out tomorrow morning. If you want a copy of tonight, you can email me directly and I can send it to each of you individually. That's not a problem. But I don't know how to send it to you as a group. Okay? Technology. So if you want a copy of tonight because you want to share it with your lover, your best friend, and your kid, just email me tonight. I'll get Sasha, my admin help, who's my lifesaver, to send it to you tomorrow. Okay. And let's go back to the questions. Okay. This is from Natalie. I've always been a pretty focused and realistic person. But in the last year, due to job change, I moved from full-time to working for myself and being unsure about my relationship. I had the most incredible boyfriend, but for some reason, I keep looking at the negatives in our relationship. I feel like I cannot make any decisions. The indecision feels almost paralyzing at times. which just is not me, and it's exhausting and it's so tiring, but I know I can work through this. I just need the right focus to do so. Okay, I love what you're saying. Nicole told you about me. Awesome. Okay, cool. Let me just go into your energy. Natalie, give me just a second while I do this. Okay. So Natalie, this is an advanced conversation that I'm about to share with you, but I'm hearing that you can handle this. When you look at your partner, by the way, your beautiful boyfriend, you have a really beautiful boyfriend. I don't just mean physically. He's got great energy, your partner, and I think you know that, which is why you're with them. What I'm sensing from you, Natalie, is that and this is again an advanced conversation, but you're going to get this. What you're poking at about your partner is actually about yourself. Okay? So I want you to sit with that for a second and just take that in for a second. Yeah, I keep hearing she knows that, she's starting to know that. So I keep hearing that you're a bit of a perfectionist. And our perfectionist may or may not be the right word, or you like to get things right. You're a duty-filled person is the other thing I keep hearing, like, if that makes sense. And that is one of your sub-personalities, one of your energies, which is something I teach in the Ignite Your Inner Healer course about sub-personalities and creating a relationship with them. And that you are unconsciously directing onto your partner. Okay? And that is why you are finding faults in your beautiful partner. And it's a slightly, again, I keep saying it's a more advanced conversation. But when you start to realize that what you're doing out there is actually in here, that's when you're going to start to heal this. Because it's your own relationship with that part of you that either has to get it right or is like the fist. And please, Natalie, let me know if this is landing, okay? And it feels like you can be hard on yourself and you're wiring a bit. And it feels like it's also related to work. Yeah, to move around work. But they're telling me to leave it at that and see if that lands. Let me know how that feels, Natalie. Just sit with that for a second. Just take it in from your head to your heart and see if that lands, okay? Okay. Yeah. And I also keep hearing she wants to stop being so hard on herself. Okay. Yeah. All right. And as you guys can see, I could keep going with each of you for an hour, and that's what I do for work. Okay. Okay. Rubelli, I feel like I'm good for nothing, even though I'm happy with my job. Okay. Rubelli, that's what I was saying about your lower back. Your lower back, your hips and stuff are tight. Because, Rubelli, I think you know this. Your lower back is your first and second chakras. And the first and second chakras are all about your identity with yourself, who you are, believing in yourself. And yes, you have a good job, but that belief, that feeling that you're good for nothing, it feels like you were taught I feel like it's from your mother. Could be from your father, but I keep seeing your mom's energy. And that's got your amygdala trapped. So I haven't gone into this tonight, and because this is coming up with Rupali, and it came up a second ago with Natalie, I teach this concept called subpersonalities, and I won't go into it tonight because we'll be here for 3 hours. But there's a subpersonality under Rupali and Natalie that eventually, I was explaining this to my husband at lunch today. So here's my mouse. Here's me. So Rupali, you have this inside of you, the subpersonality, that with the work I teach you in the Ignite Your Inner Healer course, that was brought about by your interactions. It feels like from your mom mostly, but probably your dad too. Also the culture. And that's the part of you that feels like you're good for nothing. In the subpersonality work that you learn in week 5 and 6 of the Ignite course, we teach you how to take it outside of you and how to work with it. Because right now, for a lot of you, it's mixed in. Tori, it's mixed in. Do you guys get it? It's mixed in. It's like locked in there. Like Dylan, we talked about how it's all corded in there. The work that I teach you is going to be teaching you how to get outside of you. And Nicole, and I know Natalie, you talked a bit about Nicole. That's what Nicole's been doing a lot of, like taking it outside of her and looking at it. Okay. How do I know I can do this? Because I had to do it to myself. Yes, a lot. Okay. So I hope that helps, Rupali. Let me know. Okay. So Suzanne, I was diagnosed with a voice disorder. I've done a lot of energy work, and it has gotten better. Yay! I feel it also is linked to my lack of financial prosperity. I feel it is also a link to my financial. Okay, I think that's your question, Suzanne. I'm just going to make sure you didn't type anything else. No, you did. Okay, great. Okay, let me just grab your email again, Suzanne. Yeah, okay, it is linked to your financial issues because there's a direct energy link between your throat chakra and I keep feeling right down to your first chakra. And you want to scream, honey. You want to scream. I'm sure you've heard that 1,000 times. You want to scream and you want to be who you are, Suzanne. And it feels like there's some defeated energy, like a fear and a sadness there too. And yeah, it's linked to your financial prosperity because when you speak from your heart, and this is what we're trying to teach you guys tonight, they're speaking from your mind and then you're speaking from your inner being and your soul. Honey, when you start to speak from your divine I am, from your soul, Suzanne, that's when you're prosperous. That's what I just heard. That's when your prosperity abounds everywhere. So yes, there's a direct link. And you've done a lot of great work, But so again, Suzanne, I know you know this, and we talked about this a few minutes ago. The voice disorder is the effect, and you're unlayering the cause, okay? But there's still some work on the cause that I think as you start to look at it consciously, either through the Ignite Your Nova program or working with me individually, you start to look at it consciously. Then it's like opening a Christmas present and going, oh my God, that's what it is. And it's right there. And I can tell you, because guys, I work with people like every day with this, when you put consciousness on the unconsciousness, that is when you heal everything. And you start to show up in your divinity. And that's what it is, Suzanne. They're also saying, sorry, they're not done. There's a fear of being you, and I think you know that. A fear of being heard, a fear of your expression, a fear. That's why my throat is going. It's a fear of your expression. A fear of being safe to express. That's it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're telling me she got it. Okay, you got it. All right. Okay. All right. So let me know if that lands, Suzanne. All right, Alex writes in. I actually can understand what is missing, but something is missing because sometimes I even do not want to come back home. I'm 37. I have 3 kids, including a stepdaughter. Congratulations. Who is a teenager. It's hard for me to deal with everything sometimes. I feel like I have no feelings, no love, like being empty inside. Thanks, Alex. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let me just go into that. Give me a sec here. All right. All right. What's really deep inside there, Alex, is a lot of anger. So when you study the Ignite Your Inner Healer course, I'll teach you that there's something called an emotional scale. The emotional scale starts at powerlessness, depression, anxiety, and then it goes all the way up to joy with 26 emotions in between. What I keep feeling in you is to why you feel so stuck and there's like not an interest to go back home and you've got 3 amazing kids, is there's actually a lot of anger and it feels like your stepdaughter could be pushing on that button. Not exactly pushing on the button, maybe even not consciously, but it's just pushing that button in you. And until you let yourself feel that energy of like pushing, so in order to get that energy up, we want to start to feel anger. And people always think I'm crazy. But because you're a mom, Alex, you know this example, or you're a parent, you know this example. So when we have kids, and I say this all the time, I have a 12-year-old, but when he was little, even now, do I want my 12-year-old sulking in his room on whatever that game is that he plays, Nintendo or whatever it's called? Or do I want him getting mad at me? Like he doesn't, like if, let me say it differently, sorry. Do I want him sulking in his room with the lights off and the sheet pulled over his head and depressed? Or do I want him yelling in the middle of the room? As a mother, I want him yelling in the middle of the room so I know what's happening, okay? As people, we're trained into powerless, where our power is outside of us. This work is about getting your power back. And it feels, Alex, like there's some powerlessness there. And that's why you're the effect of what you've described, not feeling happy, not loved, feeling empty. But that's because the emotions want to move up the scale. Got it? There's anger. Get into boxing. Get it out of you, sweetie. And then we'll start with that. And then there's going to be other work after that, okay? You're welcome, Catherine. Okay. Sometimes I feel exhausted. Yeah, I get it, Rupali. Okay. But I was waiting. I can. Oh, thank you, Sean. That's so sweet. That is so, so sweet. Okay. All right. Sean writes in. When I am at work, I'm super motivated. Yay. And as you're working hard, my head is full of ideas and excitement about creating my dream business when I'm at work. However, as soon as I get home, I'm tired. All I want to do is watch TV, go to sleep, and I sit in front of the computer to create my dream business. My mind goes blank. What the heck is going on? Okay, cool, Sean. I'm just going to make sure you didn't type anything else in. Nope, you did. Okay, good. Okay, give me 1 second, Sean. Let me tune into that. Okay. So Sean has studied a lot with me. She's done level 1 and level 2, and she's a rock star intuitive, as is Chantel. Gets her rock stars. Sean, it's taking it from the mind, which is active at work and your dream business and all the ideas, and it's taking it from there into knowing in here the I am, or not even just the I am, sorry. It's like you know it up here, but it's not like you don't know it down here, but you spend more time up here. So if, Sean, you can take it from here, and I want you to close your eyes right now, honey, and I want you to close your eyes, Sean. I want you to go inside your chest right now, and I want you to put your hand over your heart. I want you to say these words to yourself. I am. I just want you to keep saying that to yourself. I am. I am. I am. Keep doing it. As I speak, keep doing that. What I'm trying to get you to do, Sean, I want you to start to take all of the mind, and I want you to slow it down. I want you to go in here. So the next time you have an idea, I want it to come from your I am, and then you won't lose the energy. It's not just that your mind is giving, your intuition is giving it to you too, but part of you, hon, doesn't believe in yourself. Honey, Sean, I've known you for a long time, and you knew me when I didn't believe in myself either. And I still struggle with that, right? We all do. God, I'm on a computer, live, video, da-da-da-da-da, right? But we all have the same issue. Every single one of us do. We're no different. But all I did was I practiced that, okay, in here. And if you could do that a little more often, then you can slow down the mind. None of your ideas are bad or wrong, but you want the ideas, hun, to come from here. And it's not like they're not coming from here, but if you can slow them down and do that before, during, and after work, then you'll come home with not infinite, but an abundance of energy. And then the ideas can come from your heart. Okay? Try that. Let me know how that feels before we wrap up tonight. Thanks, honey. Okay. All right. Kelsey, thank you so much. You're welcome, Kelsey. I really enjoyed this, and I'm so excited to join one of your courses. Yay. Thanks so much, and talk to you soon. P.S. I look great. Thank you. Oh, good. Thank you, Kelsey. I'm so excited, Kelsey. I'm so excited you're done nursing. I'm so excited to see you in level 1, level 2. Oh, I'm so excited, Kelsey. Oh, big love. Okay, Chantel, I love both level 1 and 2. I was wondering if we can repeat other level. Yes, honey, you can. Chantel, I'll email you privately, but you're more than welcome to repeat either level. I don't charge you, so yes, of course you can. And I'm 99% sure, 99.9% sure Lynette doesn't charge for level 2, that you just come back and volunteer, and level 1 is the same, hun. So yes, feel free to come back, Chantel. Yeah, I don't think I need to email you privately. You got that. Yeah. So my next level 1 is at the end of July. So yeah, I'd love to have you back. Okay. And obviously, Sean, that goes to you too. Okay, Natalie, definitely I'm a perfectionist, and I want to keep everyone happy and do everything right. My mom had the same thing, that I'm putting up high expectations on my boyfriend. Has said the same thing. Oh, that's cute, because I have such high standards and expectations. So that's definitely lands with me, but doesn't settle perfectly right away, because I automatically wonder if I can't do better because okay. Oh, Natalie, I have the same thing. Did I tell you I went to med school when I was 19? Yeah, did I tell you that? Okay. All right. You can, and you can. And you know Nicole, and I love Nicole, and you love Nicole. It feels like this party, that expectations, that high-driven part. Remember your mouse? That's where you got it. It's in you. And so we nailed it. That's what it is. It doesn't happen overnight. And that's why I said 12 weeks, 12 weeks, 12 weeks. I'm going to teach you how to take it outside of you. I'm going to teach you to take it outside of you, sweetie. And then it doesn't happen overnight. And then I'm going to teach you to have a different relationship with it. Okay. I can't teach this in the span of this event, because teaching somebody this takes me at least an hour, and I have to be in a different vibrational space for the whole group. It's a very advanced conversation, like I said from the get-go. But you can do it, Natalie. I've taught it to so many people. I would say thousands of people I've taught this to. And that is where liberation lies. So step 1 is then doing this. Now, Natalie, I need to ask you this question. Do you think I don't do that? I'm married. Do you think I don't do that to my husband and my lovely 12-year-old? Of course I do. But all I do is I catch myself, I look at that neural pathway, and I start to shift it. That's all I do. And I get faster at doing it. That's all. That's all. You can ask my lovely husband, Ed, you and him can have beers, and he'll tell you. All that's happened is Divi still responds like the old Divi, and I don't see as much as the old Divi, which was like this perfectionist queen. But what happens is the time gap is shorter. I see parts of it, and then she switches it. I see parts, and she switches it. And just the other day, I switched it within 30 seconds, which in the past would have taken me 30 days, 3 months, 30 hours. So it just gets quicker. And yes, you can. Trust me, you can. You wouldn't be on the call if you couldn't. So yes. All right, Rupali, thanks, Divi. I feel I get these feelings from my husband. He blames me for everything that goes wrong in his life, to him for our daughter's behavior. That makes me feel like I can't handle our relationship. All right. So Rupali, your husband, and this is what I was just saying with Natalie, the choice of who we choose as our partners is never them. It is one of those sub-personalities that you learn from your mom and dad that is the energetic equivalent of your partner. Again, this is a very advanced conversation. But one of the first things I do with my clients, first or second, not sure. Over time, I get them to realize it's not their husband. It's something in our energy field that's projecting it that way. Because if I told every client, Rupali, that I work with that it's their husband, it's their lover, it's their spouse, none of my clients would be married. None of them. They'd all be divorced. And sorry, I have to say it in a high pitch because it's so funny. But what I have realized that it's all, and I can't tell you how many marriages I have saved and helped and repatched together and rewired. And it's like a blessing to do that. Like it's such a blessing. It brings up emotions in me because I know how many of us leave marriage after marriage after marriage to look for that perfect partner. And we realize the partner is a reflection of ourselves and our deepest amygdala stuff. Then we realize it's never the partner. I say this story over and over again. I was married relatively young, 27, 28, to my first husband, who was wonderful. He was a doctor. I met him in residency. Lovely, good-looking, amazing Jewish boy. Really amazing guy. Like, love him to his core. And I spent 10 years with him and started to blame him almost from the day after I got married. And then got remarried years later to my second husband. And it's only because of this work that I didn't leave him. Because unconsciously, I started to blame him. And because I had already dabbled and started this work myself, I knew that what I was dealing with was not him, it was me. And as soon as I started to change me, everything started to change. But I could do 10 marriages later. And if I don't change me, I will always find blame in them like I did in my first. And I'm glad I'm not with my first husband. He could not have held the space for me to do this type of work. And I love and respect that. That was just not in his DNA, and that's beautiful. And it's awesome. And I love him. And I love this partner. But what I want you to really understand is it's never them. It's always a reflection of us. And that's where the work I do in the laws of the universe comes in. Got it? Cool. All right, cool. All right, Catherine. One more question. How can I tune into my spirit guides? Awesome question, Catherine. So again, I don't know if I'm going to help. I don't know if we're going to have time for meditation. I'll answer that question. So in the Ignite Your Inner Healer course, Catherine, we do meditations on connecting with our spirit guides. On my website, there's a number of meditations on my YouTube page that are there. But meditation is the easiest way to connect with our spirit guides, definitely the easiest way. In fact, I don't want to say it's the only way because obviously I'm not consciously, like I'm not sitting here oming, but I'm connecting with them. But that's the first and easiest way. And then as you build that muscle, you can connect with them more, but meditation, and hopefully, Catherine, I don't know if we'll have time tonight. I haven't looked how many questions there are. But if you join me for the Ignite course or see me in some workshops, I'll teach you how to do it. It's not hard. But we need the energy, the atmosphere set up. So, and then I can take you into it. And we're getting there in this class. You guys are great. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome, Suzanne. Maybe help out. Okay. Oh, yeah, for sure. Chantal, yes. Yes, help out. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, wonderful. Awesome, Suzanne. Hi, Abby. I've been so tired again. Okay, I started school, yay, and got back into my relationship, yay. I feel like I don't know myself. I feel emotionless and dead. I guess I want some advice from you as I don't have a direct question. Oh, you're so cute, Abby. I love you so much. Okay. Okay, give me a second. Let me sit here. All right. It's interesting because it's actually the same as that client I was working with earlier, and I apologize for forgotten your guys' names. I was talking about paralysis and anger. It feels like there's some anger there mixed in with confusion and some sadness. It's like there's a party that wants to have a good cry, hit a pillow, vocalize and express it. And you don't have to do it to your partner. You don't have to do it at all. But there's a feeling of feeling overwhelmed and powerless right now going on. And I would invite you, Abby, to work up the emotional scale and just to yourself express your anger that you haven't figured it out. And I'd also work on my relationship with myself. I keep seeing yoga, meditation. I keep seeing long walks in nature, getting more of the long walks in nature, quieting your mind, connecting with your guides. That's the big one. Connecting with her guides is what I'm hearing. And for her to know that that's her divination and she's ready for that. Yeah, I know you already do that, but that is what you're being asked to do. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, Ab. I hope that lands. Stacey, thank you so much for the amazing insights. Yay. Yay, 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 Stacey, that's awesome. Cool, yay, Chantel, that's awesome. Awesome. Oh yeah, me too, yay, awesome. So glad, Sean, so glad. I love you guys so much. Okay. If we take the course, how long would it take before I notice reduction in pain or mobility? Oh, awesome question. Awesome question, Tara. That's a great question. All right, first thing, I didn't mention this in my presentation. I actually guarantee my courses. I do like a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not happy in the 30 days, you're not going to get a relief of pain in 30 days. I'll be honest with you. We will start to rewire the neural pathways in 30 days. The answer to your question, Tara, how long it will take is dependent on how much you apply this to your life. Okay? I will be honest with you. If you are conscious and applying this to your life regularly, you will release pain. I keep hearing they're telling me 8 to 10 weeks is what I keep hearing. Not from pain to no pain, but significantly less. I keep hearing the teller 8 to 10 weeks. I'm asking specifically for you. Okay? 8 to 10 weeks is what I'm getting. But the key for that 8 to 10 weeks to land and to be true is for you to apply this on a regular basis for you. And the other thing I keep hearing, Tara, is there's going to be a lot of meditations, the Ignite Your Inner Healer course, on love. And I'm going to request and honor you to step into that love. And when you do, watch out for your mobility, girl. You're going to be dancing. And I'm going to come over to your house. We're going to dance. Yeah, because that's where it is. It's in the love. That's what I keep hearing. Don't laugh, guys. I know it's 8 o'clock, 7:30, and I barely eaten. That's the funny thing. All right, I'm not high on coffee. Don't worry. Okay, Natasha. Hi, Divi. The frustration might be coming from my current career in teaching. Okay, I'm unsure if I'm cut out for that career. I find it super stressful and overwhelming. It's early in my career, but do you see me doing any other line of work cut out from personality? Okay, give me a second, Natasha. We're just checking on that. All right, Natasha, you're a lover to your core. You're a lover, 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 lover. You're a divine lover. Okay, you're on the right path. Okay, teaching is not the wrong path. It's not the wrong path for you. But it may be what you're teaching, and it may be how you're teaching, and I keep hearing it's also how she's expected to teach. It may be what you're teaching, how you're teaching, and how you're expected to teach. I keep seeing like the external, whether it be the external higher power, superpower, like the principal, whatever, that's watching over you, that's part of the issue, that you're not on the wrong path, hon, at all, but it's like, it's all of that. So maybe what you're teaching, how you're being told to teach, and so on. So you're not on the wrong path at all. So I wouldn't jump from that path into something totally different right away. I keep hearing Reiki could help, energy healing could help, this work can help. The one thing I would say to you, Natasha, that's coming through really clearly, if she can let all the books go to a side, and it's not like you don't teach from your heart, but only teach from your heart. Teach from love and forget all the rules and all the expectations, forget all that stuff. And I know that's much easier said than done. I know that. But that is when you're going to start to feel what's next for you. Okay, so just feel into that for a second and let me know if that lands, okay? Okay, Rupali, it helped a lot. Yay! Oh, yeah, you're in Toronto. Bye, Rupali. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad it helped. Oh, you're welcome, Catherine. You're welcome, Abby. If I sign up for your Ignite Your Inner course and decide afterwards that I would like to pursue teacher training, can I upgrade from the one course to the other? Yes, yeah. Okay, so yeah, great question. So the silver gold stuff, Stacey, it's going off the website, but for you, because you've seen it, I'll honor that. But it's actually going off. Remember, I said website is getting redone. But because you've seen it, yes, I'll let you do that. No problem at all. But if you haven't seen it, don't look. I'm joking, because the website's getting redone, so those are kind of going off. But to answer your question, Stacey, yes, yes, yes. Okay. Oh, I'm coming near the end. Thank you so much. Appreciate the thoughts and connection. Would love to dive into this more. Chat soon. You're welcome, Natalie. I need to hear that. Actually, a little emotional because that rang so true. Thank you. You're amazing. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Amazing. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Stacey. You're so welcome. Okay. All right. So let me do a bit of a wrap up. Okay. We're going to go into a brief meditation. I think there's still a bunch of you on the call. We'll do a brief meditation. And if you have to leave, you'll get the recording. You can fast forward to this. All right. You guys are awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Close your eyes, guys. I know a bunch of you are still here. If you want to meditate with me, we'll meditate. I'm not going to do the spirit guide meditation, but we're going to do a different one. Close your eyes. Settle into your chair and just begin to breathe in and out. In a few moments, you may hear the sound of bells in the background. And just breathe in and out. Slow, deep belly breaths. Allow your belly to be loose. Allow your mind to quiet. Just be present right now in your breath and in your body. Allow your belly to hang out and just go within. If you wish, place your hand on your belly button and just start to feel it rise and fall as you settle deep into your chair. Belly rises and falls with ease. If the conscious focus becomes more on the breath, your mind will begin to quiet. Deep, slow breaths, in and out. Between the thoughts, there is a space. Noticing the space between the thoughts is the most important part. Allowing your mind to go into your belly. Focus on your belly rising and falling, slowly and easily. Exhale completely and inhale for 1, 2, 3. And exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Belly is soft. Mind is quieting. Breath is easy. Soften the shoulders. Feel how your body may have quieted even a little bit. And notice how the mind is just a twinge quieter. Deep, slow breaths. take your imagination or your mind into the center of your heart, right in the middle of your chest. If you wish to put your hand on this body part, feel free to. Just slow and present with your breath. Deep, slow belly breaths. Hand over heart, belly moving, mind a twinge quieter. And just breathe. With your mind focused in the center of your heart, say these words in your mind. I am divine. I am connected. I am love. Choosing one of these three statements, or maybe even one of your own, to keep repeating in your head. I am love. I am divine. I am connected. And just breathe as you settle into this space. This is you in your divinity with a capital D. Your bright, beautiful, loving light right now. Being present with it. All of the answers to all of the issues come from here. Your heart, your divine. Imagine your heart opening and sending it as an energy in your entire room. And just feel how that fills up with light and love. And breathe. And now feel that heart and love expanding outside your room, going across the entire building you're in, filling it with love. And just see and notice how much your body has quieted. Your mind is a twitch bit calmer, and you're a little more centered. This is your truth. This is you in alignment with your divine. This is you in your higher presence of love. I encourage you to just stay here and breathe and feel and focus and be present. As I start to wind down the webinar for tonight, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you who attended live or listened to the recording or shared or didn't share. Each and every one of you are beautiful souls of divine energy I am. And as you start to shine that divinity across the planet, the entire world starts to change. Everything starts to change. So from the depths of my heart, I thank you for being present with me tonight. and being the divine energy of love. Thank you for sharing your heart, your soul, and your presence. From my deepest heart to the deepest of yours, thank you. After a yoga class, we typically leave as teachers using the word namaste, and that feels very appropriate here right now. The word namaste means the divine light in me, my soul, honors the divine light in you. And when we are there, we are one. We are the divine. We are love. We are light. Thank you for joining me tonight. Love you all very much, and we'll chat super soon. Ciao.